how the entire local police as well had stated that this was in fact a robbery that had gone wrong. But we had found out that there was no theory that could have in fact made sense with respect to robbery as far as the local police is concerned, since there were gold chains that were in his neck when this attack had taken place. There were 35,000 rupees in cash that was in his pocket as well. So all of that is being taken into consideration when we look at this investigation as well. And now we are seeing that this entire incident is also gaining political momentum, as Navneet Rana has come to Amravati and has met with the victim's family and is also speaking to them about what the investigation will be going forward. Now let's also remember, she had also lashed out on the Congress guardian minister, the former guardian minister here, and she had stated that this was the Congress that had been pressurizing the police, the local police, to actually cover this up and not let this come out in the public domain and treat this as a robbery that had gone wrong. But we have seen that the investigation that has been carried out by the local authorities, and now we are seeing that the NIA that has also gotten involved and making sure that the truth comes out in broad daylight as well. And NIA has today filed this FIR and investigation will be carried out. And in the backdrop of that, we are seeing parallel investigations and information that we are picking up with respect to the investigation, because there was a remand that had been sought for by the local police of Irfan Sheikh, the main key conspirator is what he is being called right now, as to how he was running a non-profit and how that was a front for making sure that they got international funding to carry out these kind of activities. Now this is primary information that we have picked up from investigating agencies, and they have said that they will get to the bottom of it as well. And perhaps this is something along the lines of what is also being discussed inside of this house, the visuals of which we're showing you right now, where Navneet Rana is meeting with the family members of Umesh Kolhe, and that is Mahesh Kolhe and his son as well, who had in fact been present there during the time that this butchering incident had taken place as well, where Irfan Sheikh himself had not been present on the ground to carry out this kind of a gruesome killing, but we had seen 6 other people who had been trained by him, recruited by him, and told by him as to how this entire killing would be carried out. So all of that is being talked about and is going to come out in broad daylight as a part of the investigation that is going on now. Till yesterday, we had seen that the local authorities had been claiming that this is a robbery that has gone wrong, and since NIA has gotten involved, we are seeing that the truth is coming out, and the local authorities also now accepting that the entire incident was something that had to do with Nupur Sharma as well. So all of that is a part of the investigation, and now we are seeing that the political momentum that is also picking up with Navneet Rana visiting the family members of the victims, Mahesh Kolhe and other members of the family, especially the son of Umesh Kolhe, who had been the witness, who had in fact seen his father being butchered by these 6 people who surrounded him and stabbed him in the neck, and with one swift move had killed him as well. So all of these nitty-gritties of the case have come to light that really prove and make sure that the theory of the local police about this being a robbery have fallen flat. So all of that is also being discussed, and Navneet Rana herself had also stated that this was the Congress that had been building pressure. Now, of course, we will have to wait and watch whether these are political posturing statements that are being made by Navneet Rana, and whether or not some kind of a role of the Congress party really comes out in the open as far as the investigation is concerned. But as of now, we are seeing heartbreaking images of Navneet Rana, in fact, meeting with the family members. Family members have also been inconsolable as well. Earlier, they had stated that the police was not telling them as to what has been going on in the investigation. And then they had shared with us how the police had told them not to speak about this entire matter in the public domain as well. And now today we are seeing that the family members are meeting with Navneet Rana, and we will have to wait to see what Navneet Rana really says to the media after she exits this house right behind me, where she is present right now with the family members of Umesh Kolhe, who had been butchered by these 6 people.
Well, Priyanka, you also said this to us right now. Navneet Rana has alleged time and again the city's police commissioner, Aarti Singh, tried to pass the murder off as a robbery. Now, that was, in fact, one of the statements that Navneet Rana had made. At the same time, the NIA has been probing all the angles. They are trying to probe all the angles. You have been speaking to the family members as well. So when you have been on ground, tell us exactly from where the perspective that you're getting on this case so far. We are also looking at other international links in the case.
Well, all of that has been a part of the part of the investigation as far as the remand is concerned of the key conspirator, that is Irfan Sheikh. And in that remand itself, we can get a lot of details as to what had really transpired on 21st of June when Umesh Kolhe had been surrounded by these 6 people and he had been stabbed in the neck as well. So there are very nuanced questions as a part of the investigation to find out why it was an attack on the neck, whether it was planned. And because it was a one swift attack, it is also pertinent to mention that whether it was an experienced hand that had been carrying out this kind of a butchering, and it was not a spur of the moment attack that had taken place, because their sentiments had been heard with respect to the WhatsApp groups where Nupur Sharma had been supported by Umesh Kolhe. Let's pan our cameras because I believe Navneet Rana is coming out, and perhaps she would be speaking to the media, because those are the visuals of Navneet Rana, in fact, having met with the family members, and she has spoken to them, and we will have to wait till she comes out to see exactly what the conversation had been all about, and whether or not she is going to reiterate her entire theory that it was the Congress that had been pressurizing the local police for subduing this entire matter. And let's get a word from Navneet Rana herself. I think she's exiting after having met with the family members, and let's see what she really says.
मैम क्या आप यहाँ पे मुलाकात करने आई थी, क्या बात हुई परिवार वालों से?
क्या बातचीत हुई है? आपने पहले कहा था कि इसमें कुछ कांग्रेस का भी हाथ था, क्या एग्जैक्टली?
मैं
अभी जो परिवार को मिली और जो फैमिली को मैं मिली और उनकी वाइफ को तो देखा भी नहीं जा रहा है मुझसे, क्योंकि यंग एज के ही हैं और एक बेटा है उनका। जब वो पूरी स्टोरी कहानी जो घटना मुझे बता रहे हैं कि कैसे हुआ, कैसे उनके लैब में उनके फादर की डेथ हुई और जो खून जिस तरीके से बहा, और पीएम करने के समय में जब पीएम करने वाले डॉक्टर ने कहा कि इट इज़ अ प्रोफेशनली डन बाय समबडी, जो प्रोफेशनल थे उन्होंने ये काम किया, ये घटना को अंजाम किया हुआ है। तो मुझे लगता है अभी जो फैमिली की सिर्फ एक ही व्यथा है कि अब ये जो आरोपी हैं और ऐसे कई 10 जने हैं हमारे अमरावती में जिनको थ्रेटिंग कॉल्स आए हैं, और ऐसे नामी कई लोग हैं, बड़े व्यक्ति हैं जिन्होंने आज तो मुझे लगता है उनके स्टेटस पे भी डाला है कि भाई मुझसे ये हिंदू विचारधारा की स्टेटस मैंने वायरल की थी और फॉरवर्ड मैसेज भी किए थे, तो मुझे माफ़ करना, ये गलती से हुआ है। इतना डर निर्माण यहाँ पर हुआ है। तो मैंने उनके बेटे को भी कहा कि अगर आने वाले समय में कोई थ्रेटनिंग कॉल्स अगर आपको आती हैं, क्योंकि इनको कोल्हे जी को कोई थ्रेटनिंग कॉल नहीं आई थी और हमने डिमांड भी की है NIA की टीम से और सेंट्रल जो एजेंसीज़ हैं, जिस तरीके से जो टेलर के साथ में उदयपुर में हुआ वैसे ही जो फास्ट ट्रैक पे उनको लिया है, उसी तरीके से ये भी केस फास्ट ट्रैक में लिया जाए और से जल्द इस पर निर्णय दिए। कल रिमांड ख़त्म हो रही है कई आरोपियों की, उसके बाद इसे जब कोर्ट में पेश किया जाए तो इसे स्पेशल कोर्ट में फास्ट ट्रैक में लेकर इस पर जल्द से जल्द निर्णय लगाएं, क्योंकि 1-2 दिन में हमारे महाराष्ट्र के गृह मंत्री अपनी पोस्ट ले लेंगे। उसके बाद हम गृह मंत्री को भी इसकी रिक्वेस्ट ज़रूर करेंगे महाराष्ट्र से।
पुलिस ने जो इस तरीके से इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया है उस पर क्या कहेंगे परिवार?
मैं आपको वही बताना चाहती हूँ, 12 दिन 13 दिन 100% लूटपाट की। यस, मैंने उनकी फैमिली से पहले भी उनके बेटे से बात की, सिर्फ कुछ फुट दूर पे थे उनके बेटे, क्योंकि जब अगर कोई चोरी की मंशा से किसी को अटैक करते हैं या किसी को मारते हैं तो पहले वो डराते हैं कि आपके पास जो है वो दे दीजिए, इस तरीके का व्यवहार करते हैं। जब उनकी फैमिली से मैं डिस्कशन कर रही हूँ, उनका भी वही बोलना था, ना उन्होंने किसी को डराया। बोले 5-6 फुट की दूरी थी, हम दोनों के डिफरेंस थे, मेरे फादर के और मेरे, उतने तक तो उनको मार के निकल भी गए थे और दोबारा मारने के लिए आए। जब मुझे देखा है तब वो वापस गए वहाँ से। तो मुझे लगता है जो डीप मारा गया है, जितना घाव जो था वो सीधे क्लियर था, आए मारे और चले गए, ये इंटेंशन से उनको मारा गया। चोरी की कोई मंशा कहीं नहीं थी। पर 12 दिन ये डिपार्टमेंट ने, जब तक केंद्रीय एजेंसी यहाँ पर आती नहीं, इन्वेस्टिगेशन करती नहीं, नेशनल मीडिया इस केस को बाहर प्रेजेंट नहीं करती, क्योंकि 10-12 दिन पहले तो यहाँ पे कांग्रेस की सरकार थी, महाविकास अघाड़ी की थी, कांग्रेस की यहाँ पे गार्जियन मिनिस्टर थे। ऑलरेडी पहली बार देश में ऐसा हो रहा है कि हिंदू विचारधाराओं को लेके कहीं देश में कोई राज्य में सरकार बदली है, वो महाराष्ट्र है। पहली बार हुआ है इतिहास में कि विचारधाराओं को लेकर सरकार बदली गई है, और उस विचारधाराओं के बीच में अगर ऐसी घटनाओं को इन्होंने प्रेजेंट किया होता, वो चीज़ दबाने की कोशिश हमारी अमरावती की सीपी कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस ने और यहाँ की गार्जियन मिनिस्टर ने किया। मुझे लगता है जिसने घटना की वो तो क्रिमिनल है, पर उसके साथ जो घटना को दबाने की कोशिश की, वैसे भी आरोपियों के ऊपर घटना दबाने की कोशिश की ऐसी सीपी आरती सिंह के ऊपर भी ये केंद्रीय एजेंसी के द्वारा इन्वेस्टिगेशन होनी चाहिए, वो भी मैं डिमांड करूंगा।
कई लोगों की सुरक्षा की बात सामने आ रही है।
ऐसी कट्टर सोच के लोग, ऐसे जिहादी सोच के लोग अमरावती में हैं, ऐसे लोगों को अमरावती से निकालने के लिए एक सांसद के तौर पे आप क्या करने जा रही हैं?
जो लगातार
मैं आपको एक चीज बता सकती हूँ, ये अमरावती में पहले भी बहुत शांति से सब लोग रहते थे, एक ही से रहते थे, और मुझे भी ये क्षेत्र में, ये मेरा परिवार, मेरा ससुराल है, 12 साल से मैं इस क्षेत्र में हूँ, कभी ऐसी घटना को अंजाम होते नहीं देखा है। ये पहली बार है जो ऐसी घटना बाहर आई है, और ये कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस की फेलियर है कि पहले जब राइट्स यहाँ पर हुए, दंगे में यहाँ पे कर्फ्यू तक लगे, लोगों के ऊपर पथराव भी हुए, मारामारी भी हुई, और बाकी चीज़ों से भी यहाँ पर मारा गया लोगों को, तब भी वो फेलियर थे, और ऐसी घटनाओं को अंजाम दे रहे हैं तब भी वो फेलियर है। अभी बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे हैं, मुझे लगता है एक और 2-3 जनों ने नंबर सहित कंप्लेंट की है कि इस फ़ोन से हमें धमकी आ रही है, हमें जान से मारने की धमकी दी जा रही है, और हम इतने दिनों के लिए अमरावती छोड़ के बाहर चले गए। अगर ऐसी घटनाएं होती हैं तो मुझे लगता है डिपार्टमेंट ने इस पे सोचना चाहिए। डिपार्टमेंट ने
क्या होगा, ऐसे कई लोग हैं, लगभग 22 लोग भी हैं, इनकी सुरक्षा के लिए
उनको कहा गया कि आप माफी मांगिए, वीडियो अपलोड करवाए गए हैं, उनको धमकी दी गई है।
यस वही
लोग ऐसे हैं कम से कम।
मुझे जो इंफॉर्मेशन अमरावती हमारे कई लोगों से मिली है, और सब अच्छे पोस्ट कैरी करने वाले लोग हैं, जिनको फ़ोन करके थ्रेट किया गया अगर आप माफ़ी नहीं मांगते हैं खुलेआम तो आपके साथ में भी ऐसा ही व्यवहार होगा। तो मुझे लगता है उन लोगों को सिक्योर करने की जवाबदारी अभी पुलिस प्रशासन की है। अगर उनके साथ में कुछ ऊपर नीचे होता है, इसकी पूरी जवाबदारी ये सीपी ऑफ कमिश्नर की होगी, क्योंकि अगर किसी को सिक्योर नहीं कर सकते, उनकी जान जाने तक हमें वेट नहीं करना है। ऐसे आरोपियों को पहले ही अटक करके उन्हें बिहाइंड दी बार हमको भेजना चाहिए, वो हमारी जिम्मेदारी है।
कई बार फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट का जिक्र होता है, आप संकेत या उसकी फैमिली के लिए इस तरह से कुछ होगा?
मैं ज़रूर, हमारे जो गृह मंत्री हैं और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जो ये राज्य के नए जिन्होंने स्वेरिंग ली है, और उप मुख्यमंत्री हमारे देवेंद्र जी फडणवीस साहब हैं, उन्हें ज़रूर हम डिमांड करेंगे, बिकॉज उनकी फाइनेंशियली कंडीशन जो उनके घर से, उनके फैमिली से मुझे दिखाई दे रही है, इट इज़ नॉट वेरी गुड। तो मैं 100% महाराष्ट्र सरकार से भी ये ज़रूर विनती करूँगी, ये मेरे क्षेत्र की, मेरे लोगों की सिक्योरिटी की बात है, इसमें कोई राजनीति नहीं होनी चाहिए, और जिन्होंने राजनीति के लिए ये सब्जेक्ट को दबाया है और ये सब्जेक्ट को दूसरी दिशा दी है, उन पे भी उतनी कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
एक आरोपी उनका दोस्त भी है।
दोस्त नहीं, जब मैंने क्लियरिफिकेशन उनसे मांगा, अब उनके परिवार से जब मैंने बात की, उन्होंने यही कहा है कि पहले तो ये फास्ट ट्रैक में जाना चाहिए हमारा केस, और जो दोस्त बता रहे हैं, जो केमिस्ट में हर बार लोग आते थे, अपनी दवाइयाँ खरीदते थे, उस तरीके का वो व्यक्ति था। एक सोशल मीडिया ग्रुप में, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में, उनमें एक व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में इन्होंने ये मैसेज फॉरवर्ड किया, ये भी पुष्टि कर, उसके बाद ये घटना को अंजाम दिया गया। तो मुझे लगता है ये विचारधारा हमारे हिंदुस्तान की नहीं है, और हमारे अमरावती में जो भाईचारा से हम सब लोग रहते थे, अगर जिस तरीके से अमित शाह जी ने इंटरनेशनली इन्फ्लुएंस है ये सब चीज़ों के बारे में उन्होंने अपने पत्र में बताया है, तो मुझे लगता है हमारे लोगों को ये समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है, हम सब लोग ये देश में रहने वाले लोग हैं, बाहर के इन्फ्लुएंस को अपने दिमाग में हावी ना होने दिया जाए।
All right, we just heard Navneet Rana speak there. She said that she will request the Maharashtra Home Minister for the fast-track hearing on the case in special court. She's also said that he was killed for the intention to murder. In fact, he was hit with the intention to murder. And this case has been suppressed as 10 days back also, because the government, a different government was in power that time. She also mentioned that. So we have seen a couple of updates, back-to-back updates coming in at this point of time. The key thing there that we can tell you, viewers, is that She would like this case to get into a fast-track court. I would like to go across to Priyanka, who's getting us the details as she's on ground. Priyanka, the key message there that we, in fact, got from that briefing from Navneet Rana was that she's requesting for a fast-track court, again hitting out at the police again for suppressing the case. Priyanka.
Well, that's what she said, and that's what we were talking about before. She had come out and started briefing the media as well. We had seen earlier as well those statements coming from her speaking about the ex-Guardian Minister of Congress who had been pressurizing the police. Now, these are allegations from Navneet Rana. These are, pending investigation. But we are seeing that these are the allegations that she has been making, that there was a hand of the Congress party, that there was the Guardian Minister, ex-Guardian Minister, in fact, who had been pressurizing the Commissioner of Police, Aarti Singh, for making sure that this case does not come to light and this case is treated as a robbery. Now, she said that, and when she has in fact spoken to the family members about this as well, is what she's spoken to us about, and she has said that there will be an appeal for a fast track legalities to be made sure that an investigation is carried out and make sure that the accused are also brought to book about this entire incident. So that those are some of the topics that she has spoken about to the family members as well, and she has also talked about the financial aid for the family members of the victim Umesh Kolhe, because there had been, he had in fact been the breadwinner of the family. So going forward, those are some of the other nuances of this entire matter that Navneet Rana has said that they will be addressing. Now, that being said, we have been tracking the story from the very beginning, and as we had been talking about this earlier as well, the robbery theory of the local police in fact has completely fallen flat when it comes to the details that we have access of the remand copy with respect to the mastermind, that is Irfan Sheikh, and it has been mentioned about how it cannot be a prima facie robbery as well as it had been claimed by the local police, and that.
All right, we'll come back.